Hi everyone, welcome back with Nadia from Channel Admissions. Today, I'd like to share information with you regarding the frequently asked questions about studying in China. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get to watch more content like this. So, the FAQ video will be divided into two categories. The first one is about choosing your program, so it's going to be about questions related to choosing your programs, about the requirements and all that. And the second one is about the application process to Chinese universities. So let's jump right in. When is the deadline at Chinese universities? So, Chinese universities offer two deadlines. The first one is in March, the second one is in September every year. So, what are the differences? So, basically, Chinese universities offer non-degree Chinese language programs in both intakes. So, it means you can study this non-degree Chinese language programs in either March or September. However, if you want to study bachelor, master, or PhD, normally these type of programs will only be offered in September intake. As for the March intake, there are only a limited number of universities which offer bachelor or master programs because most of their degree programs will be offered in September. What is the age requirement to apply? For bachelor program, normally the age requirement would be about 18 to 30 years old. And also for master program, the age requirement would be up to 35 years old. As for PhD program, the requirement would be up to 40 years old. And if you're applying for the non-degree Chinese language program, the age requirement is about 18 to 60 years old. I am under 18 years old, so what should I do? So all applicants who are under 18 years old must have a guardian in China. So a guardian can be a Chinese person or a foreigner who is living in China with a valid working permit. And remember, another student, another international students cannot be your guardian. So the guardian must be either Chinese or a foreigner who is living in China with a valid working permit. How to choose which university to apply for? So I know that there are a lot of programs offered by Chinese universities. There are thousands of programs offered in China, and there are also hundreds of Chinese universities in mainland China itself, and it might be hard for you to choose one among all those options available out there. So my tips for you is to use this formula to help you apply and to help you choose which university is going to be the best one, or like which program is the most suitable for you. The formula is like this. So number one is to choose the major that you want to apply for. So you need to know what is your passion and what is your future goals, so you can choose a major that is well suited for you to achieve those goals. For example, if you want to be a businessman one day, then it's best for you to study bachelor in business. Number two is to determine your budget. So, it's very important that you know your budget to study in China. By knowing your budget, it will definitely help you to choose which university to apply for, because there are a lot of options available in China. So, for example, if you have a more international experience and if you have a high budget to support that, you can choose to apply to international universities available in China, like the HJTLU, Xi'an Jiaotong Liverpool University, or maybe UNNC, University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China, or AEBS, Asia Europe Business School in Shanghai, or maybe SBC, Sino British College in Shanghai. So definitely having to know your budget will determine which university that you can apply for. And last but not least, number three is to know the location. So maybe you're not familiar with China, that's okay. But my suggestion is to at least Google China first, like you can get to know that China is actually so big. For example, if you're in Beijing and then you want to go to Guangzhou, which is in the southern part of China, it takes 4 hours flight itself, and then the weather itself is so different. Beijing in winter, it can be quite cold, at least it hits 0 degree or maybe -5 sometimes. But if you are experiencing winter in Guangzhou, it's relatively warm. And that's why if you at least have a little bit of preferences in terms of the location, it will definitely help a lot. It doesn't mean that you have to know like the map of China, for example. It doesn't mean that you have to know like every part of China in order to do so. But like a little preferences would help. For example, if you're from a tropical country, if you're from Southeast Asia or from Africa and you've lived in a tropical weather all year long, maybe you're not really comfortable studying in the northern part of China like Harbin, because it's so cold there in winter. Like it will hit -15 or like -25 in winter. Maybe you're not so comfortable with the cold weather, and that's why you can choose to study in the southern part of China like Guangzhou, Xiamen, or like Hainan, those with a relatively warm weather that is more suitable for you. How much is it cost to study in China? So is it expensive to study in China, or is it affordable to study in China? Well, maybe not all of you know this, but it is actually affordable to study in China as compared to studying in another country like UK or US or Europe or Australia, or even to study in Singapore. So for example, if you are going to study degree programs, which means bachelor, master, or PhD programs, the tuition fee starts from USD 2,500 per year. And then if you choose to study non-degree programs, which means programs like the Chinese language learning program, the tuition fee is about 1,000 to 1,500 US dollar per semester. And then for the living expenses itself, it is way cheaper than US, UK, Europe, Australia, or Singapore, because you will only need to spend about 500 to 900 US dollar per month, and this includes everything. By everything, I mean the accommodation, the cost for food, your travel expenses like your transportation costs, the cost for you to ride subway, taxis, whatever, and then all of the costs related to that, like like a little bit of shopping, maybe you go buy some books or like buy some clothes. You only need to spend about 500 to 900 US dollar per month, and that includes everything aside from the tuition fee, of course. So yeah, I would say it is relatively affordable to study in China compared to other foreign countries. If you still have more questions about studying in China, don't hesitate to contact us. You can leave a comment down below, or you can also contact us on email or WhatsApp and let us know your questions, and we will help to answer that, and we will also help you and guide you with your applications to Chinese universities. I hope this video can be useful for you and informative for you as well. So yeah, see you next time.